Let me ask you about other issues on trade, because the president is threatening to terminate the NAFTA agreement if Congress does not approve the USMCA pact. Now, the last time you and I spoke, you felt good, I think, about the changes in the USMCA. But I want to get your take on this, because Secretary Stephen Mnuchin was on with me this week, and he talked about this trilateral agreement. Listen to what he said.
The deal was signed by the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, and I think this is going to be an agreement that President Trump expects is going to be taken to Congress and passed. And as he said on Air Force One, if it's not passed, he's going to terminate the existing agreement.
What about that? The consequences of President Trump terminating the existing agreement and the consequences of this USMCA not being ratified in short order when the new Congress starts next month?
I'm not surprised the president would make that threat. You know, I've always kind of figured that would be his fallback to get the New Deal through. Obviously, you know my view that NAFTA itself and the existing trade relationship between the United States and Canada in particular has been a balanced one that is in the interests and to the benefit of both parties. So I think, you know, canceling the agreement as part of a bargaining ploy with Congress would be ultimately a bad decision. But, you know, given that the three countries have agreed on a new deal, let's hope that the Congress acts wisely and adopts it.
Yeah, but I mean, one of the issues is I had one of the congressmen on the Democratic side this weekend on Sunday Morning Futures, and he said, look, this is not just about the auto sector. We need all industries to have a fair shake when it comes to manufacturing. So do you want to see USMCA expanded? Do you want to see any changes from your standpoint in terms of this deal between Canada and Mexico and the U.S.?
I don't speak for the government of Canada, but I don't believe that Canada is looking for anything more. This is a comprehensive deal, Maria, and as with any trade agreement, it is very big and very complicated, and not everyone is going to like everything in it. But as I say, I think the president is presenting Congress with a pretty clear option. Here's a deal, and the alternative may be no deal at all and no special trade pact in the North America trade area. I don't think that would be in anybody's interest, and I certainly think the USMCA is better than having no trade pact at all.
Mr. Prime Minister, let me get your take on oil, because we have breaking news right now. OPEC is just announcing right now that they are agreeing to cut output. Oil prices are down this morning by 3% on expectations of production cuts ahead of the OPEC meeting following this mandated reduction in Canadian supply. It comes amid growing discourse within OPEC following Qatar's withdrawals. So now we're going to see an output cut from OPEC. I don't know if they're going to stick to it or if they're going to be honest and really cut production. What's your take on this?
OPEC has less market power and has had less market power than people think for a long time. But at the same time, if the major powers, the major producers like Saudi Arabia and Russia, if they are serious about some production reduction, they can get it. I mean, the truth is that we're seeing oil prices come down for many reasons, but one of them is that we have had a slackening in global demand recently, and you know, I think that should alarm us somewhat. I think there is very little doubt that outside, in my travels, I have very little doubt that outside North America you are seeing the economy begin to slow, particularly outside the United States. Mr.
Prime Minister, it's good to see you this morning. Hope you'll come back soon. Yeah. Thanks so much for your insights on all of the above.
Yep. Good morning, Maria.
Stephen Harper joining us there.